if Italy got a job review, they would get satisfactory or just
Push
got the
me,
job done.
and
At
then
least for
just
these.
touch me until I get my satisfactory, as Nicholas would like to say.
That's how you could describe Italy these past two matches of World Cup qualifying. 6 points out of 6. We're happy with the wins, but they didn't score enough, guys. Here on the Calcio, guys, Gianni, Adriano, and Nicholas. How you guys doing?
I'm doing good. Doing good. I mean, 6 from 6 is good, but like you said, and probably like what we're gonna dive into, it's not enough. So, but satisfied, I guess, is the way to to say.
Undefeated under Gattuso is always a great feeling. Let's hope that he keeps on instilling some confidence in this team and gets them back to like being a dominant force in Europe.
Yeah.
Not just actually, dominant force in FIFA, not even just in Europe, just a dominant force in FIFA. But anyways.
Still a long way to go for that. It seems like it's the inevitable at this point with Italy and playoffs, and it seems like that's the path they're going on. Heading into Saturday's game, we knew they needed to get a lot of goals versus Estonia. They played after Norway won 5-0, I believe, against it was Moldova, and we knew heading in Italy needed to score a lot to make up the goal differential, and it started off well. What was it? The 4th minute they had already scored. But then it kind of died down, and we were watching it together, guys, at Panino Pazzo with Bellabrini, and it was Bilaziale, Biagio. Nice little watch party there with the Bellabrini special. Amazing sandwiches, by the way, at Panino and Pazzo in Little Italy. This is not an ad, by the way. This is legit. Honestly, a good Panino.
It was.
It was delicious. It was very, very good.
Yeah. Sorry, it was Keane in the 4th minute. Everything seemed to be going well. And then I forget what happened first. If Retegui scored his second goal, or if there was a missed pen first.
Missed pen.
There was a missed pen first. And Johnny, I know you weren't there in the first half, but when we got the pen right away, I said, like, I forget who said it, if it was Bellabrini or Biagio said it. Now we're getting another goal, this and that. I was like, wait, we need to score first. And we saw a pretty weak penalty from Retegui, pretty disappointing. It did make it up with a harder goal to score in the 38th minute. Esposito scored 74th, first goal for him with the national team. And then terrible mistake from Donnarumma, 76th minute, right after, to cut down the goal differential back to +3. So Italy didn't get the 10-0 win they were probably hoping for. Hey, 3 points. That was the first job that they needed to do. But I think afterwards, maybe I felt a bit, I wouldn't say disappointed, but it's like, okay, on to the next one. It's not like you could criticize them that much, but again, you wanted the more goals. They definitely missed a few chances. Spinazzola missed a chance. The missed penalty. So right there, 2 goals they could have made up.
Mm-hmm.
Even Donnarumma with this mistake, that's an extra +3 that they could have had. So it's like maybe moments like that kind of left a sour taste in the mouth. I don't know if you guys felt the same watching the game on Saturday, but there was a bit to be desired.
Well, I feel like it was the one thing that stuck out to me the most was that the Donnarumma mistake it's a little bit uncharacteristical of him. You know what I mean? Like, in my head, it's a bit worrisome too, because it's a couple of games now where he just has like a slip up or like what is he doing type of thing. I just hope that it's not a habit that's developing in him.
Yeah.
We need him to be our best player. Donnarumma, out of all these players, is the most important player on this squad. And if he's the one who's playing poorly, then it's going to follow suit with the rest of the team. Now, we're starting to find our legs a bit, like we're starting to, find like something that clicks. We have an idea of like, okay, so for example, like Retegui and Keane are most likely going to be the 1-2 punch going in the future, like we know what our midfield is probably going to be come World Cup if you qualify and whatnot. But Donnarumma is absolutely the key piece, because we still lag behind a lot of the top teams in the world in terms of talent, organic talent. Like we're talented, yes, but like, I mean, more of a sense where it's like these guys, like you can put them on and that a goal's going to come, So the best way we're going to win is by preventing them. And who's the best player to prevent them? Donnarumma. So we need Donnarumma to be our best player. And these past few games, I've seen him do these like little errors. Like, they're not the worst things, but against a stronger team, we could get easily punished for it. So I personally take away the one thing I take away from these games is that I just hope it's just something like that's just temporary for him, that it doesn't lead to anything further, and that come like the playoff game that we're going to eventually play, that he doesn't make those type of mistakes.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think first off, again, I want to shout out Biagio and Belbrini. A great event, a small little event, but it was really cool to participate in and all get together at Panino Pazzo. So again, another shout out to them. It was great. It was a great afternoon, despite the sour taste in our mouth. And I guess it's always better to suffer in numbers than by yourself. So,
True.
but you know. I would argue that besides Donnarumma, I think Tonali is probably our best player, focal point. I've said it. We like to say it on the show a lot. Games are won and lost in the midfield, and I think if that's rolling, you can get by. I think the mistakes, the few mistakes that Donnarumma does make, I think he makes up with it with the timely saves that he's so known for, the penalty stops and all that. So I'm not too worried. Again, like you said, Johnny, if he makes it a habit, then maybe there's something to look into. But he saved us more than he's cost us, in my opinion, since taking over between the sticks. So I would put my faith in Donnarumma going forward. But yeah, in the first match, against Estonia, it started off well, and we were kind of joking at Penino Pazzo, a goal every 4 minutes. Johnny wasn't there in the first half, but we were saying, well, okay, we scored in the fourth minute. Now we got to score every 4 minutes to kind of try to make up this goal differential that we're so far behind, because it seems like Norway just can't stop scoring. It wasn't to be. After the fourth minute, it took a little bit of time. It's unfortunate with the injury to Keane. I think I would have liked to have seen how this game would have progressed with him playing at least a half, if not a good 60, 65 minutes, maybe more, against Estonia. So that, I think, put a little bit of a damper on things. But again, I think one thing with Gattuso, he's been able to adjust. Sometimes I feel like the starting lineups, again, maybe sometimes are a bit suspect, but for the most part, I think he's been able to adjust. And if there's one thing with Gattuso, at least with the experience that I saw at Milan, and I don't know if you can say the same for when he was at Napoli, Johnny, but he's really able to work with the cards he's dealt, and make something out of it. He has garbage cards in his hands, if you will, or not the best hand, and he still manages to get a score. But like he
Yeah.
manages to do something with the cards that he has. um you know is it always the best looking? Maybe not, but if there's one thing that we've seen in this short Gattuso era for the Azzurri, is they're not going to stop fighting. They're going to go till the end. Obviously, that famous grinta word is get tossed around a lot with Gattuso, but you see this team fighting. I think it's just a matter of being able to score more. But hey, I think Gattuso has unlocked something that's been missing with this national team for a while, and it's been able to score goals. Like we haven't seen the goal scoring that we've seen currently under Gattuso in years past with former managers.
Hmm.
They were coming in spurts, yes, but like you said to open the show, Johnny, perfect record under Gattuso. 12 out of a possible 12 points. I mean, albeit it's against opponents that we should be getting these results from, but still, we've seen Italy slip up before. And sometimes I look back and think, and I don't know if it was brought up at Panino Pazzo on Saturday, but I could have sworn I had heard somebody mention it. But you know, if we would have started off this qualifying campaign with Gattuso, like, I wonder what the result would have been. And obviously, hindsight is 2020, and we can't go back and play Monday morning quarterback and say the what ifs. But that loss at the beginning to Norway, if that's a different result, even if it's a draw, like, there's something more to play for.
Yeah.
Coming down this stretch, so it's one of these things where it's a lot of what ifs, but. Listen, I'm confident. I know obviously the path to automatic qualification seems very slim, and that's seems inevitable, like you said, Nick, that we're going to have to go through the playoffs, and it's a sad world we live in that Italy has to go to playoffs to be able to get into World Cups. But um, if that's what it's going to be and that's what it's going to take, then from what we've seen, the sample set that we've seen, I put my confidence in Gattuso to get the job done. It's no secret in the room. They're all saying it. We will be at the World Cup. We want to be at the World Cup. Everybody believes it. We're striving for that after missing the last two. So I mean, spirits are high, but in terms of the first match, like you said, Nick, good to get the win, but I think, and even in the match today, we should be smashing these teams, guys, and we're just eking out wins um, at a lesser rate than the team we're chasing in Norway that is just obliterating everybody in our group. So um, I don't know what it needs to be, but I guess I don't know if it's luck or what, but um, I'm hopeful that going forward in the November window, we have to take care of our business, our laundry, our circumstances. We can't start really looking further than that. The big game, like we said, is going to be on mid-November against Norway at San Siro. That's been circled on the calendar since we pretty much saw what the schedule is going to look like for this qualifying campaign for Italy. So it's still the case. We need a miracle for Norway to maybe slip up, but again, we can't really look at that. And I saw all the percentages, who we might face if in the playoffs and stuff like that. Again, we get there when we get there. We cross that bridge when we cross it. And if there's one guy I want to cross that bridge with, it's definitely Gennaro Gattuso.
Just a couple of things to just finish up with with the point that you made.
So
What I want to say is that he is the type of coach to get them on their track, and we saw him with both Milan and with Napoli. He's not a long-term coach, but he's definitely going to make you want to go to war for him,
sure.
So that's what I appreciate about Gattuso. And also another thing I want to say, why do we say Monday morning quarterback now? Games are played on Monday nights now. Can we say Tuesday morning quarterback? What if your team plays Monday night?
Take it up with Jesse Palmer. I don't know. Take it up with me. But no, you're right, Johnny. I think short term or long term, I think if given the opportunity, I think Gattuso can do well. Maybe not super long term, but long enough, longer than he has in the past. But listen, he got put into the fire. I know he took the job obviously willingly, but you get put into a situation where morale is low. You had a shocking Euro in last summer or whatever. What was it? Last summer, yeah.
Yeah.
Being the reigning champions, you had a shocking summer in the Euro. Spalletti's, I would say, maybe kind of lost the room. Had some on-field things, off-field things. You kind of get put into the fire, even though you willingly took the job. And again, we couldn't have asked for really any more, because if we would have started losing games or drawing matches, that would have been a different story. But he's been a winner since he walked into the door at Coverciano. So I know there needs to be more. I know we should be more upset and saying that listen, we need to score more, but we're coming from a national team that was barely scoring. Now we're scoring in somewhat of numbers. It just, the fact, in my opinion, Norway is just on another level in terms of scoring goals. It's unfortunate, but it just seems to be the reality.
Yeah, we can't depend on another nation to mess up for us to succeed,
Absolutely.
So that's the one thing that we have to keep in mind, that it's unfortunate that it's come to this, but it is what the reality is. I don't want to start. I'm saying that I think the team is mentally preparing themselves for playoffs. I don't think they should think that they could still get first in the group, because you said it right there. The way Norway's been playing has been unbelievable.
Yeah.
They've been playing phenomenally well.
Yeah, I mean, I think at this point, Italy's best chance of finishing first is Norway just dropping points.
Well, they need the drop against Estonia, right? It was in Estonia, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How are they
they're not gonna. Italy's not gonna catch up goal differential. They would need to score 10 to 12 goals versus Moldova and then beat Norway 4-0 or more.
Yeah.
I think Yeah, Italy's best hope right now is Norway getting in their heads and them losing themselves or drawing against Estonia, which we know is not happening. So look, it's another.
But
It's
Italy
gonna be,
still has to beat Norway. That's like it's not even
and
like
then
a
Italy has to
given,
beat
right?
Norway.
Right? Like it's
Yeah,
not. Yeah, they need to slip up, but then we need to go and beat them. So that's a whole other, whole other ball game.
yeah. And honestly, as soon as Italy lost 3-0 in June to Norway, I knew it was playoffs. The exact same thing happened versus Spain in the 2018 qualifying and versus Switzerland in 2022. When you play that top team that you need to win against and you drop points, you know it's over. It's so hard to catch up, especially when it's on goal differential and not head to head.
Yeah.
But you're talking about the what ifs. For me, the what if is what if they had beat Germany in the Nations League and then they would have been put in Group A with Slovakia, Northern Ireland, and Luxembourg. And you know what? That wouldn't have been much easier because Slovakia is a decent team. Northern Ireland's a team that's played in the Euros recently.
Yeah.
And Germany right now, they're actually tied in points with Slovakia after 4 match days.
Wow.
So maybe we can't dwell on that too much. But yeah, you know what? Call me crazy, but
Hi, crazy.
hi, Johnny.
Hello, hi.
Looking at the playoffs, the way the format is, it's obviously not as difficult as past times because 12-year.
Don't say that, please.
No.
Don't worry, Johnny. I have Vicorni here. Don't worry.
I have I'm speaking logically because logically in the past there was less European teams making the World Cup, right?
Yeah.
So the teams in the playoffs were stronger. This time, 12 teams are already qualified for the World Cup, leaving 16 teams in the playoffs. The way it's going to be, there's going to be pot 1, pot 2, pot 3, pot 4, pots 1 through 3 based on the FIFA rankings, and pot 4 based on teams that finished outside the top 2 of their qualifying, but are there because of Nations League rankings.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is Italy will avoid teams in pot 1. And hopefully Italy, I think they should be in pot 1 come these playoffs. So they're not going to be like in 2022, there was a chance that they would have played Portugal in that final, right? In that qualification playoff final.
Yeah.
There's going to be no Italy-Portugal this time. It's realistically speaking, weaker teams. That means nothing. That means nothing, right, guys? But
I'm just
saying,
just to say,
like even Sweden in 2017, they're still a strong team. Looking at the teams right now, if it ended right now, the 12 teams that it would be in the playoffs would be Slovakia, Kosovo, Scotland, Ukraine, Turkey, Hungary, Poland, Bosnia, obviously Italy, North Macedonia, Albania, Czech Republic, Wales, Romania, Sweden, and Northern Ireland. You take the top 4 in the FIFA rankings, and already 3 of those teams Italy won't be playing. So that's what I'm saying. It's not as nerve-wracking. And look, hopefully third time's the charm, right? Hopefully come March in 5.5 months from now, we'll be talking about third time's the charm.
Yeah.
But it is nerve-wracking. And in my head, like there's no such thing as automatic qualifications in my head. Like Italy's not even in the World Cup right now. The only team I have in the World Cup right now is Canada, right?
Yeah.
But I look, even today's game, Johnny, you're saying it seems like they're playing for the playoffs already. They are assured now at least of a playoff spot, but it felt like in today's game, they were almost playing too ahead of themselves because they didn't have the best first half. It was a pretty boring first half. They didn't have a lot of chances. Obviously, they scored on the penalty late in the half in added time. But I was a bit frustrated with the way they're playing because I felt like they did play better on Saturday against Estonia. Sure, Israel is a better team. But what I do like about today's game, it was the second half, actually. That the fact that they came out, scored 2 more goals, and didn't allow a single goal. Compare this to the last game against Israel, 5-4.
Yeah.
Where that could have absolutely derailed our World Cup qualifying. So I think the mentality of today's game was better. And another positive from these 2 games overall, you guys talked about it, Retegi. I think this is the number 9, at least for now. I think in every qualifying campaign, whether World Cup or UEFA, when Italy has that number 9, they have success. You think about when they qualified for the Euros. Ciro, he scored a lot. That was the last time they really scored a lot of goals under Mancini when they first started that era under Mancini when they went on that long run. So Rettegi has to be that guy moving forward, and it's nice to see him continuing his success despite being outside of Italy. I think we all had those concerns, right? The fact that he was leaving Italy for Saudi. So I think we can put those to bed. And he looks like a typical number 9, strong striker, good movement. Like today's goal was absolutely beautiful, the curler and everything. And I appreciate how he's able to score on PK. It didn't get in his head. He blasted it home. Perfect PK. So that's the red key we really need moving forward.
I agree, and he even said it right. Like he said, I think we didn't catch all the post game press conference with Rettegi. We were kind of leaving Panino Pazzo on Saturday, but I had heard a quote. I had seen a quote of his that said, "You know what? I missed, but I know the next one that comes, I'm gonna take it willingly, and I'm gonna score." And he did exactly that. So, you love to see that type of confidence in your players, especially your number 9, because like we know, guys, the number 9 position, it's very like already sports are very mentally focused, like driven, but like the number 9, like when you're hot, you're cold, it's kind of like a goalie in
Yes and
hockey.
no.
Exactly right. It's kind of like these other positions in other sports. And when you're confident, things go your way, and he's been confident. I think that's what 11 goals in 24 appearances for Italy. It's incredible. He's what 14, 15 away from breaking Gigi Riva's record. What is he at now? It's like an absurd number, it seems like. But
Yeah, I was just about to look that up. I was gonna almost say it like,
yeah,
oh, he's probably close to breaking the all time record,
well,
but
Gigi Riva's at 35?
35.
Yeah,
He's at
11, right?
11,
Yeah,
so 24 left. So it's still
sorry,
a lot.
24.
It,
Sorry.
it's one of those records, guys. Off topic. Sorry to interrupt you, Adri. I
No,
know
no, go on.
in sports, you always talk about records that can be broken. This is a record that will be broken in our lifetime.
Yeah.
We just need a consistent goal score to see it happen.
Yeah, exactly. If it doesn't, we're still missing a striker, I guess. But
But like I said many times before in shows in the past, we've never been a nation of having that one star striker that just like
yeah,
dominates and destroys. Like I'm not saying like how do I like a Messi or Ronaldo where it's like we depend on them to carry the team. Probably
yeah.
the only time we ever had that was Bad Joe in '94.
And I think he has like 27 on the list. So it's like, imagine like our GOAT of Italian Calcio, 27 goals. But he wasn't a goal scorer, a pure goal scorer, right? He
No,
was at number
I'm
10.
saying like
So
we
it's
never
it's
really had
different.
like a guy where it's like without him we don't have anything type of thing,
Exactly, exactly. We're not because I saw somewhere it was like Austria, like what's their striker's name? He played for Inter, he played for Bologna, number 9. Oh my god. The name escapes me. He played for Bologna. He almost eliminated us in the
Oh
Euros
yeah.
Um, oh
2021.
my god.
What's his
Oh my
name?
god. I have the
Guys,
face
come
in
on,
my
help me.
Does it start with an A's last name?
Arnautovic, thank you.
Yes,
There we
yes.
go.
Thank you guys. Thank you for helping. Arnautovic. I think I saw some post like yeah, he Arnautovic already has like 37 goals. He's like lead or whatever the number is. It's like leading Austrian goal charts. I'm like, and beating Gigi Riva at 35. I'm like, yeah, but like you're comparing like apples and oranges, anyways. Like
Yeah.
it's just a side tangent. But like to Johnny's point, we never had that true. We've had number 9s in the past and great ones. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like with Italy, it's always been, especially well back then, it was more defensive. Catenaccio, we all know,
Yep.
and I feel it was always more group oriented. Like it was more group effort than individual performances. So but yeah, no, for Rettegi, I think going back, it's amazing. It's like 11 goals, like you know. In 24 appearances, like he's getting his moments, and he's been able to take them so far. Like again, it's still a small sample size. I know he obviously didn't have an excellent Euro, but Italy as a whole didn't really have one, so it's hard to really single him out in all that. But I think if he gets his opportunity, and we've seen it with under Gattuso, Gattuso kind of found that partnership with Keane, Rettegi, we've seen it that they can play off each other. We don't have to only go and play one striker. And I saw today. I didn't really notice that as much in the game on Saturday, but the game today, um, Retegi is able to his build up play. I think is better than maybe people think because I saw him really track back and really get involved with the play so far into the midfield. It was crazy, and then working his way up the pitch. So. Um, I think he's more than just a target man. He's able to. I'm not gonna say he's able to really create entirely on his own, but I think his link up play, his heads up play, his IQ, football IQ is pretty high. So, and if it takes a guy like him and even Keane for that matter, and um, whoever else that is able to maybe take Pio Esposito under their wing, I think that's a positive because him too. Again, I know he's an Inter player, but joking aside and biases aside, he's looked pretty impressive. He should have finished his chance today. There was a turnover in the box. The Teggy passed it cross crease and Pio shot it and pretty much right at the keeper. And he, in my opinion, a true number 9 and a real number 9 and an experienced number 9 is going to score that. Unfortunately, it wasn't to be for him, but he already got his first goal. He's getting some moments. So if he can follow in maybe their footsteps and kind of go under their wing, I think it's another positive for Italy. Striker wise, because Pio Esposito, I love his build. He's the Scamacca Lorenzo Luca that we want, but haven't seen from them.
Doesn't have a touch of a fridge.
So far, exactly, so far, right? Andrea Petagna 2.0, but right. So, because I love you love his measurables. Like he's that guy. Like he's tall, he's physical, he's strong. His touch seems his touch seems to be pretty good. He's still young, 20 years old. I think you got to give him time, but I like that he's been able to be incorporated in this group, and yeah, but yeah, like you said, Nick, I think the main man right now is definitely Retegui, and I'm happy because I'm a fan of his. I like that Gattuso still called him, even though he moved to Saudi, because that could have easily went south right away. Like he could have easily went to Saudi and probably never been looked at again by another manager. We don't know. Gattuso says he has his eyes on everybody, from what we hear in the pressers. So I think it's good that he's been able to find some continuity with Retegui, and I'm going to throw Keane's name in there because for Italy, these guys have been lights out. I know Keane has been struggling a bit for Fiorentina to get going. I think he only has like one goal, if I'm not mistaken, after being up there in the scoring charts last year. But I think it'll come. And again, when their confidence is high, the sky's the limit.
One thing I want to say, Adrian, to make you feel better, don't think of Esposito as an Inter player. Think of Esposito as an Ablodan.
But he's an Abuidan and he's an Inter fan too. I don't understand, man. That's crazy to me.
Well, I mean, let's look at what's his name? Fabrizio Romano is an Ablodan, but he's an Inter fan. Let's be.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought he supported Napoli.
No, don't forget, like Napoli, like prior to like the mid 2000s, they were a team that was like long forgotten.
Yeah, but
Sure.
Esposito didn't grow up with that team.
He grew up with like the very mid,
Mid,
the very
20 years
mid-
old.
Mid 2010s.
He's 20 years old.
Yeah, so you saw. Wait, when was he born?
He's
I'm
20 years old.
looking that up.
2005.
Let's see.
Okay, so at 5 years old.
June 28, 2005.
There you
Okay,
go.
By the time he was 5 years old, Napoli was already coming back into it.
Yes, but if you think about it, he saw Inter win the tripleta. That's why it makes sense that he's an Interista. Napoli 2005 were in Serie A B.
Yeah, but he
was born in 2005.
my point is,
I'm saying like okay,
you
2010.
got to start counting at like 5 years old.
Okay,
Yeah.
so he saw Inter win the tripleta in 2010.
Okay,
All right.
fair.
All
You
right.
win. You win.
All right.
Yeah,
But he's not Buidan.
Yes,
That should be the be all end all. He's not Buidan, so it's Napoli or nothing.
I don't disagree, but
Okay. All
what can
right.
you do?
All right. Yeah. Can't win them all.
Guys, I wanted to ask. I know it's early with Gattuso. 4 games in, 16 goals, 4 or 5 against. It feel okay. I'm going to be honest. It feels longer that Gattuso's been coach.
It's only 2 international windows. It's crazy.
Yeah, he was hired in June. Yeah, it's. We were talking about it. I forgot that Spalletti has a part in this World Cup qualifying, and it's the reason why we might why we're going to another playoffs.
That's my point. There you go.
Because of those 2 games in June. But yeah, 4 games in, 16 goals, 4 or 5 against. If you had to give a rating out of 10, what would you give it? Or is it still too early?
It's still too early.
Johnny? Oh yeah. Still too early. I think it is still early, but if I would have to give a rating regardless, like of it being early, I would say 7.5. Room to grow for sure. But we're at a passing grade. It's a respect. Like when I got the 70, 75 on a test, like I was happy. I know some others weren't happy. They wanted that 90, 95 or 100. Me at 70, 75, I was content. So right now we're content at 7.5 for Gattuso. Room to grow always. So there's always room to grow. Maybe we can achieve the 9 or the 90, the 95, the 9.5 in the future. But I think right now, still too early to really say. It's only 4 matches, albeit they were important matches and they were must wins, all of them. And Gattuso has done that and shown that, and like the points we made earlier, the goal scoring and all that. But for me personally, if I had to really say, it would be 7.5 range.
I agree. I think satisfactory 7.
Yeah.
Maybe it is too early. Like, I think for me, the biggest downside is that first game against Israel, the 5-4. That's a game that you almost feel like Italy should have had back. They scored the 5 goals. Even if they allowed 1 or 2, that's big on the goal differential. Thank God we came away with the win in that one, but could have helped.
But in years past, that would have been a loss. In years past, that would have been a loss.
Yeah, maybe, or a tie.
So, or a tie
at
at the very least. So
And
you
can't really fault the 2 own goals onto him.
No. Was it 2 own goals or 1?
It was 2 own goals, and then
2 own goals.
True.
This past time, the
blunder
by Donnarumma.
Yeah, but those are not those are things that happen on the pitch, right? These are unfortunate things that happen. So, you can't really fault Gattuso all that much for that. Like, I'm pretty sure, like in the locker room, Gattuso told Donnarumma to shore up those hands, or else he's going to chop them off. So, like, you know what I mean? Like, I think Donnarumma will be good to go after that. Like, but again, these are things that happen. The penalty miss for the Teki, again, the best ones miss. You have to take them to be able to miss, right? So, again, these are minor things, but in my opinion, like, if we fix these minor details, I think, again, guys, I think we're a good team. We're a dangerous team. Like, I think there are the pieces there. I don't like certain things. Don't get me wrong, but I think there's pieces to work with. And again, I think we said it again on Saturday. We're always bringing up Saturday because we had a great watch party at Panino Pazzo. But we just need to get into the tournament. We just need to get into the World Cup, because once we're in the World Cup, it's a different Italy. It's a different story. It's anything can happen, and usually when we're in a tournament, I'm not always going to say always good things happen, because we've seen disappointment while we're in tournaments for sure. But give us a chance. Let's get into the tournament. Doubt us. Let us be the underdogs. We saw what happened in 2021.
Yeah, moving forward with the qualification, November 13th versus Moldova, November 16th versus Norway. Obviously, Italy knows what they need to do to still qualify directly. Obviously, unlikely at this point. But what do you guys want to see from the team in the last 2 games? For me, no matter what, I want to see 2 wins, especially against Norway. It feels like a big game. Even if they go in down 15 in the goal differential, just for pride.
Right.
Just for momentum going into the playoffs, to get that win versus Norway, almost to get the monkey off the back with a game at the San Siro, right? We've talked about how many times have they, they have had a couple of wins at the San Siro in recent years, but a couple of bad games too. And so no matter what, I do want to see the wins versus Norway and continue improvement. Obviously, we don't know what's going to happen between now and a month from now, if there's any injuries or whatnot. But it's also a short time. A month is not a long time. There's going to be 4 or 5 Serie match days, and then it's going to be international break again. So yeah, that's what I want to see. I don't know about you guys.
Johnny, watch you first.
Wins. I agree with Nick. I think wins is the best way to describe it. Pride for sure. To build up, like I said before, build up that confidence, build up the fact that like, look, siamo noi italiani, like we're Italy, like we we're a team that's dominant, and we need to get back to the mentality of like no matter who we face, we always have chances of winning. And I know the players obviously still believe that and think that, but do we honestly have that feeling? Like do we honestly have that feeling, or we're just trying to like have false confidence for it? Now, I'm not saying you could like I think Adrian, you like to say it best: fake it till you make it, right? Maybe you have to do that, but I want to see that happen again, where it's like they face a team that's like, okay, they don't have to play down to their level. They can just easily pocket 5-6 goals on against them and move on from there. Like I want to see that kind of Italy. That's what I want. So obviously wins, and I feel like you get that from the wins itself. So
Yeah. Sorry, Nick, you were going to say something?
No.
Okay, sorry. No, again, guys, it's very simple. We need to win. Forget that what we want to see. We need to win. There's no ifs or buts. It's a must win. Ever since we lost the first match against Norway, right? It's been must wins every single time. So again, to continue on these guys' points, it's obviously must wins. And you know what? I like to see the clean sheet in both matches. Fucking enough of this fucking Holland scoring 5 goals, getting 3 penalties, retrying them. Fuck enough of that. Like let's go back to our roots. If we want to be Italy, we want to go back to our roots. Let's fucking shore up that defense. Let's get these clean sheets. Like today, it felt. I mean, listen, it was okay, 3-0 against Israel. Okay, whatever, but score. We're not going to score 15 goals because I don't think that, but let's score, get those clean sheets. Let's get out of there, unscathed, and so be it. Whatever it's going to be for the playoffs. I think that defense. It's been we've seen different renditions of it. We've seen different formations. Again, I'm not to knock your boy Johnny, but I don't want to see Di Lorenzo in a 3-man backfield back line. In my opinion, I don't want to see it. But if it is to be him, I just want the whole unit to be coherent and together and be able to stop allowing these goals, because like you said, Nick, earlier, that 5-4, like again, I know there was those 2 own goals and all that other shenanigan, but like it should have never have been to that degree. So I want us to shore up the defense, get the clean sheets, get out of there, and whatever it's going to be, whoever we're going to face in the playoffs, so be it. If Jesus Bambin is looking down on us and he happens to bless us with, a Norway loss or draw against Estonia, we'll take that with open arms too. But I agree with what you said, Johnny, earlier. We can't depend on other people's or other teams' results, and we can't kind of scoreboard watch and all that type of stuff. We need to really take care of our the business in our hands. And yeah, I just want to see, and I'm curious to see who Gattuso calls up for that time as well. Like you said, Nick, potential injuries, potential maybe call ups that people have been maybe kind of thinking about, oh, is this guy going to get called up? Like, the biggest name obviously is Chiesa. Like, I'm curious to see if Chiesa gets introduced for this. Like, I don't know. But there's lots of, again, what ifs from now until mid-November. I know it's only a month away, but there's still some time to make some decisions. And again, like I said earlier, I'm going to put my faith in Gattuso. We did that, with Mancini. We did that for a short period of time with Spalletti. We have to put our faith in Gattuso, because that's the only way we're gonna go forward in a positive direction. So yeah, it's must wins. Like it's not more than that. We just need to be, like you said, Nick, Johnny. Sorry, we need to be Italy. We need to be us, and we need to play at our strengths and make teams afraid to play us again. Because I feel like now, like again, I'm going to go back to that Israel game, the first one. I don't think Israel was afraid to play Italy. Like even today,
They
like I don't
were.
think
They
they
were.
weren't afraid to play Italy. Like
No.
back in the days, like teams used to fear Italy to play them because they knew what type of match they were getting themselves into. Now, I don't see that as much. Like teams don't really fear Italy as maybe they once did.